Right on, right. You are looking live. It's sold out MetLife Stadium where today the 16-0 and playoff bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Cleveland Browns. And why are the Cleveland Browns 0-16? Because they suck. They ain't never been to a Super Bowl. They ain't never won a Super Bowl. They ain't won a championship since for 60 years, 1964. The Cleveland Browns suck. Man, that stuff cracks me up every time. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all that's going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching the replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Thank you. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight. Shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free to fire away, throw in the chat box. Usually check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So as soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free to fire away. But post also, instead of me just rambling on for half an hour, 45 minutes or whatever, I just might wind up being, it's just nice to talk to another Giant fan. Before we get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, the very top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. The second one's called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third one I have is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. And I thank you in advance. Thank you. If you are subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. I can use all the support I can get, guys. But if not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way next time I go live or if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge, right? What do you got to lose? But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. Maybe you give this video a thumbs up or share it. That'd be freaking awesome. And then finally, also down below, there's 2 additional links. The top one's a Facebook link. I'll go over that in just a second. The one underneath it, it's a Twitter link, right? I'm an old-time fart. I can't stand change. Get off my lawn, right? One of them old-time farts. It's always been Twitter. It's Twitter to me. It'll always be Twitter to me, right? Whatever letter of the alphabet Elon Musk wants to call it, that's on you, bro. I ain't calling it that. It's Twitter. Right, follow me on Twitter. I'll follow you back. That's an absolute promise. I try to put Giants-related stuff in my Twitter account every day, right? And then the link just above it, okay, takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. How original, I know. We have over 8,100 members in the group. It's doing simply marvelous, might I add. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing, and if I have internet access, I'm putting stuff in this group darn near 365. And not only do I put stuff in this group, but members post stuff in this group as well, too. So between me and the members, there's a boatload. There's a ton. There's an awful lot of New York Giants information going in this group every day. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You won't be dissatisfied. I promise. And all that stuff said and done and out of the way with. Well, I'll tell you what, the New York Football Giants, they went out down to the bayou, right? And they I guess, some of the stuff they saw kind of opened up some eyes down there. Now, the problem is, right, is that, I'd have a hard time. I mean, they're not jumping up for any wide receiver. That's not happening, right? They have too many other needs. There's 3 really good wide receivers that would let one of them fall to them. If that's what they're going to do. Once again, we can speculate all they want and stuff like that, but it's going to come, and a lot of it also has to do with what happens in front of them, what transpires in front of them, right? Because we can say, they're picking this guy. Well, I mean, if the neighbors runs a 4-3-5, well, I don't know. Maybe the Commanders might want to take him now. I say you don't know. I said so. I mean, the Giants, I can see maybe jumping up. If a few of the quarterbacks go right in front. Once again, I'm just throwing stuff out here. I have no idea, right? But I mean, if they're like McCarthy, or if McCarthy goes, but what they saw today, if they really really like Daniels, right? I could maybe jump up. Maybe when the Cardinals roll around, because apparently the Cardinals are open up for business at 4, right? I could see them maybe want to trade. And because you also you figure with the Cardinals, right? They're open up for business. Now, it takes 2 to tango. Just because you call them up, say, we'll give you pick 6 and we'll give you that, whatever, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. But the nice thing is with the Cardinals, okay, which would work out really well for them and the Giants, quite possibly, if the Giants wanted to jump up, say, to grab a quarterback. But with the quarterback, they have to be all in on the quarterback that's left over, right? They're taking sloppy fourths, whatever you want to call it, right? If Daniels is the last one left over and they're in love with him, then maybe they pick the phone up. I'm saying, but the nice thing is with the Cardinals and the Giants swapping, as far as where the Vikings wanted to jump up, the Cardinals got to slide all the way back to number 11. Get yourself a good player, without question. And then they probably get the 23rd pick as well, too, and you get yourself a good player. But the nice thing is if the Cardinals and the Giants just swap picks, right? The Giants are jumping up probably for quarterback. I mean, they're not jumping up for a punter. I have a hard time believing they're going to jump up for a wide receiver. I don't. They have too many needs, right? But they're in love with one of those, right? The only thing, the problem would be with the Cardinals would be a little bummed is if they're like, we need Harrison Jr. He's the only wide receiver. We don't want those other guys, right? But if they were in love with, after they saw what they saw today, right, with Neighbors, right, if they like doing ZA or if they like Harrison, they like any one of those three wide receivers, they can jump back with the Giants and they're going to grab. They may not get Harrison Jr., but they'll pick 6 and they'll pick up something else from the Giants. Might be this year, might be next year. I don't know. Who knows? Whatever. But they know they're going to get themselves somebody that Kyler Murray can throw the ball to. That's the important thing. They're going to get themselves an outstanding wide. Or who knows? The Chargers at 5, right? They could take an offensive lineman. Alt is, very nice. Harbaugh likes to run the ball. The thing is also with the Chargers, they gave away, I think, 99.9% of the receivers because they couldn't afford to pay anybody. So they need somebody to throw the ball to, right? However, Harbaugh does like to run the ball, right? One of the best friends of a quarterback is a good running game, right? Somebody can maybe protect the blind side, open up some holes where you can run the ball. You got a good running game that does help open up the passing game. So who knows with Harbaugh? He might want to go, take a tackle, right? Which then at number 6, the Cardinals could be sitting there, right? Falling back to number. They got a quarterback at number 6. They can have the pick of any 3 wide receivers, and they have another pick for the Giants, one of the Giants picks, either this draft or maybe in 2025. Who knows? But the Giants, if they were to jump up, it would be without question, would be for a quarterback. So now what they saw today was, it's like you got different flavors of ice cream, shall we say? I was going to say lollipops. Who the frick wants that? Different flavors of ice cream, right? You got Harrison Jr., tall, but he's like probably the best one. But Adunze, taller, more of a contested catch guy. Maybe the top of the route, he's really good. Maybe getting an extra yard or so of separation, all that. But with Neighbors, 4.35. What was it? A 42-inch vertical jump. Going over the middle, and see, here's some comparisons between him and OBJ, right? It's hard not to have those comparisons, especially since they went to the same school and all that. So, there's 3 really good wide receivers that might fall to the Giants. So, once again, was it the 25th? We got Today's what, Wednesday? So tomorrow, we'll have 4 weeks to the draft. Freaking crazy. It's like Christmas. It's just like every week, every month, whatever, there's something else. All right, let me try to do this here so I hope I don't screw this up here. All right, here we go. Let's see here. All right. Is this it? Oh. Entire screen. Nope. Let's see here. Chrome tab, entire screen. Wait. Hold on there. Share. Is it? Okay, here we go. All right, James C. What do we got here? New York Post. See what they desperately need as Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors put on LSU Pro Day show. All right, what do we got? Shane and Daboll stood Wednesday on the fertile ground where the Giants last found what they might be able to add, again with Malik Neighbors, by showcasing the 42-inch vert, 42 inches. Very nice. An unofficial 4.35. Woo. Gotta love it. And a 10-foot 9-inch broad jump. And a catch and run big playability. Neighbors made the case at LSU's Pro Day that he can provide the perimeter game-breaking element the Giants have been missing in the 5 seasons since trading the electric Odell Beckham Jr. Absolutely. I mean, they're showing a lot of stuff, like just him going over the middle. You know what I mean? Just coming up with, over the middle with one catch after the other. Just fantastic. The more I'm seeing of him now, the more, I'll be happy with anybody, any of the three, I mean, I'd be freaking ecstatic. Actually, every pass that jumped out of quarterback Jaden Daniels' hand and landed in Neighbors' fingers was doubly noteworthy for Shane and Daboll and other general managers and head coaches of teams with top 6 draft picks who were inside LSU's practice facility. The Patriots, who will pick 3 spots ahead of the Giants at number 3, sent 9 talent evaluators per SI. 9. Leave no stone unturned. I like that. Giants representatives dined Tuesday night with Neighbors, the Post confirmed, and reportedly set up one of Daniels' first 6 one-on-one team meetings for after his throwing showcase. Neighbors told reporters at Pro Day that dinner with the Giants went great. Those are some funny guys to be around, Neighbors added. I opened up my personality to those guys. It's not hard to talk to them. They know me personally as a player. I heard Brian, the head coach, loves the way I play. It's just great to be around the atmosphere with those guys again. In case he somehow slips to, newsflash, this ain't happening. In case somehow he slips to pick number 10. Yeah, it's not happening. No, not after 4.35. No way. And I'm going to show you some of these Pro Football Focus numbers he's got. This is just some of these numbers. It's crazy. Neighbors also met with the Jets. Yeah, it would be nice to have a number 1 wide receiver, Shane said this week. I think every team would sign up with that, and especially with an offensive head coach such as Brian Daboll. Hey, quarterback and receiver are the 2 most likely positions that the Giants will address in the first round, whether at number 6 or a trade-up scenario. The LSU combination produced jaw-dropping numbers during the season, including Daniels' 34 touchdowns and 0 interceptions on 15-plus yard passes. Now, he did throw 4 interceptions during the season, and Neighbors, the FBS, leading 34 plays of 20-plus yards, according to Pro Football Focus. The Heisman Trophy winning Daniels was first to greet Neighbors with a celebrity chest bump Wednesday after his blazing 40-yard dash. 2 hours later, with Daniels wearing a sweatshirt with cancer-stricken LSU teammate Greg Brooks Jr.'s name and number on the back, the duo connected on sideline bombs in cutting seams and slant and goes over the course of 56 scripted passes. It's not bad. That's a nice sample size there. Giants desperately need some explosion on their offense. Yeah, after averaging 15 points a game, yeah, I think so, without question, right? One of NFL scout told the Post, Neighbors definitely brings it on the perimeter or to the slot, where he actually did most of his damage. Every touch can go the distance. Now, the thing is, you don't want to upset the apple cart here. Because what you got with Wan'Dale Robinson, you don't want to mess with that. The man's good in the slot. Keep the dude there. If you're going 4 wide, right, and you got, Slayton out wide, you got Hyatt out wide, and you got 2 in the slot, then you got Neighbors, and you got Wan'Dale Robinson. But I think Wan'Dale does a phenomenal job in the slot. Don't upset the apple cart. Our second-round pick last year, he really seemed like after he was coming back from the injury and all that, really started flourishing, right? So let's keep the dude in the slot. So hopefully, obviously, I have to have Wan'Dale in the slot 100% of the time, but he does a very good job there. So if we can, if we were to get Neighbors, of course, this is if. I'd like to see him maybe on the outside, but. So you hear Lamar Jackson comparisons floated a lot with Daniels. That's putting heightened expectations on him. He's not the athlete Lamar was coming out of college, but he's a more advanced passer and a scrambler. I think Jaden will give you hope to win in any situation because of his unique combination of running and passing abilities. Now, the one thing is with Daniels. Okay, is he need really put on some, he needs to put on some weight. He's a little, he's a little, especially if he's going to start doing some running. Okay, he needs to beef it up a little bit, put on some muscle and stuff like that, whatever, because regardless, if he's running or not, or if he's standing in a pocket and hit, he really could use to put on a little bit of beef. All right, let me try to do this here again without screwing this stuff up here. All right, bam. Okay. There we go. All right. Malik Neighbors talks great dinner with Giants. Brian Daboll loves the way I play. LSU wide receiver Malik Neighbors told reporters at his pro day on Wednesday that he had a great dinner with the Giants. Those are some funny guys. I heard Brian Daboll, the head coach, he loves the way I play. It's just great to be around the atmosphere with those guys again. We heard that in the last one here. Neighbors is almost assuredly landing in the top 10. Oh, this is almost ridiculous. Yeah, he's probably almost assured after a 4.35, almost sure to land in the top 5. But, maybe top 6, almost guaranteed. Top 6, But anyway, the question is where. Right now, NFL scouting department has the Giants passing over him at number 6 and choosing Washington's Rome Odunze instead of Neighbors, then went number 7 to the Titans. So, I think the Titans would be ecstatic to take somebody like him after they want to basically give away A.J. Brown to the freaking Eagles where they should have kept him. What an absolute idiot. The freaking beast that A.J. Brown is, and you just give him up. You need offense, right? And you just, I can't stand the Eagles. Anyway. They need, if they were to get Neighbors, I'm sure they would be thrilled to death. Neighbors is 7th on the B&R NFL scouting department's big board and 2nd among wideouts. The Giants appear to be moving on from starting quarterback Daniel Jones. Okay, so a quarterback could certainly be in the play with the choice, but there's elite wide receiver talent available in the top 10 in Marvin Harrison Jr., Neighbors, and Odunze. And that could be tough for the Giants to pass up. We'll find out soon enough where the Giants go in the first round of the draft. Yes, we will. I definitely think that's going to be very difficult for them to pass up. There's a couple ways of looking at it here too. Is that, one thing is it's kind of like, you get the quarterback, especially if he's going to sit, okay, maybe learn or whatever like that. Let's have the team there, and then we'll, right? Instead of get the quarterback. Oh yeah, now we need weapons. Yeah, let's if we put him out there, let's give him the best opportunity to be successful, right? Which would include a number one wide receiver, right? I mean, we don't have. I mean, I don't know. Waller going to play? Do we have a tight end who can catch a pass? I mean, we got Bell. I get it, but he's not a threat. He's not like, I mean, we don't have defensive coordinators on the other teams. God, what are we going to do with Bellinger? That guy is so good. Do we triple team him? We'll put one guy on him, and then maybe another guy 10 yards off, and we'll have a safety over top of Bellinger watching every move. I mean, that guy's good. I mean, he's a game wrecker. No. I mean, all the guys we got, we have like 300 blocking tight ends. I mean, if Waller doesn't play, I mean, and chalk it up. If Waller plays this season, fill in the blank. Darren Waller will miss blank games this season. Just put in a number, 5, 6, 4, 7, whatever. He's missing games this season because of his hamstrings. Guaranteed. Chalk it up. It's going to happen, right? So if we're going to, and quite possibly, right, if Waller does, say, play with the Giants this season, okay, cool. I'm all for that. I would love to see that. But quite possibly, this might be his last season, okay, with the Giants. So the Giants, one of the best weapons that they had last season, if not their best weapon that they had last season, is about 20 minutes west of where I'm sitting right now. Does that ring a bell? Fly, Eagles, fly, right? So Saquon, no mas, right? Darren Waller after this season, I'm sure, is probably quite possibly no mas. We don't have a number one wide receiver. Let's bring a quarterback in. We have no weapons, right? I mean, yeah, we got Wandell, we got Hyatt, but we need a dog. And if we couple that up with a threat of a tight end who can just go out there and catch some passes. Right, a threat, and Singletary's cool, but I like Saquon. I get a nice threat of I mean, if we get some nice, good weapons there, now the quarterback, right? If we get some better offensive line play, right now the quarterback has a good chance of being successful. I mean, we're bringing Jaden Daniels in, even if he sits for a year. Okay, the thing is that you got to jump up. So if you're going to jump up. Right, you got to give up pick 6, and then you're going to have to jump up. You're going to have to give up another good quality pick to move up even 2 spots from 6 to 4. I mean, if you're jumping up from 213 to 211, you give up pick 213 and you give up your 7th round, but whatever, another 7th round, something like that. But if you go from 6 to 4, you're giving up pick 6, and you're giving up probably, I don't know, maybe a 3rd round or something like that. Maybe it'll be a 3rd round of next year, but the 3rd, yeah, quite possibly 3rd. So it may not be this year's 3rd, but it might be next year's 3rd. But I mean, that's another quality player that you could be drafting. So the thing is, it's like let's maybe build the team, and then we get the quarterback. And then the other thing would be too, which is something to think about. I keep talking about the Rattle Man, right? It's maybe Spencer Rattler or somebody like that in the 3rd round or something like that. That way, you're taking him in one of the later rounds. A developmental guy. He's sitting on the sideline, right, watching and learning. But with your first couple picks, now you're adding quality players to the team. So if it is his point to, say the Rattler, Spencer Rattler comes in when it is his time maybe to take over the reins, right? He'll have some players to play with, right? Because you didn't trade them all away. Okay, so that'd be something interesting to see. But this is also like, let's look at Jaden Daniels. I mean, some of these numbers are just kind of just silly, I tell you. Silly. Bam. Now, what is this? What do we got here? This is his passing. Okay, his passing. Yeah. So I mean, look. Now let's not keep in mind. Also, he has 2 quite possibly he's throwing the ball to 2 first-round wide receivers. So, I mean, it's the same thing with like the Alabama quarterback, right? I mean, at the times you go back a couple of years, I mean, it seemed like every year there was 2 Alabama wide receivers going in the first round. You know, it's just like, you know, so you got to keep all this stuff in mind. You know, when you're throwing the ball to greatness and stuff like that, and all, it helps elevate your numbers. You know, Brian Kelly's a fantastic coach and all that, so that I'm sure that helped too. But I mean, look at his overall was 94.7 was overall offensive grade. He had 4 interceptions, but he threw 40 touchdown passes. I mean, just, you know, absolutely crazy. What was it? 71.1% pass completion. Let's see what we got. He completed 236 out of 332, 71.1, 3,800 yards. Now his rushing, I think he had 10 rushing touchdowns as well too, if I'm not mistaken here. Yeah, he fumbled the ball 3 times. So he had 50 touchdowns last year. He threw 40 touchdown passes. He had 10 rushing touchdowns. Yards. Let's see here. I mean, it's just freaking ridiculous. What we got here? Snaps 277, attempts, I guess 1,250 rushing yards he had. Is that what that is? I mean, it's just ridiculous. I'm not sure the attempts, 65. 1,250 yards. I'm not exactly sure, but I mean, yeah, they just 50. I mean, just the numbers are just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, if we look at Neighbors, okay, his numbers are just as you know, rather remarkable. All right, here we go. He's got. Let's see here. When he averaged 92.9. Now his run blocking. So, you know, well, actually 64.3 is not bad. He had one bad game. It was against Georgia State. I don't know what the hell happened there. His run blocking was the 31.2. I'm not sure what the hell happened there against Georgia State. I don't know. Maybe he fell down laughing. Maybe LSU was winning 312-0, and they asked him to run block, and he fell because he was laughing so hard. Maybe I'm not sure. But against Alabama, his run block was a 59. So his run blocking is not that horrible. Once again, this is college. But you look, his passing, his offensive, his passing grade is 93.1. His overall offensive grade is a 92.9. That's offense. Let's see. Has he got passing here? Receiving. Okay, we got receiving here. Let's see here. 92.9. His receiving grade was a 93.1. How many drops does he have here? Come on, where's it at? Drops. He had 5. He did have 5 drops. So, and I did hear that he had some lapses, like maybe going over the middle, dropping some passes. You know, so 5 drops, 5.3. Not bad. You would like that to be a little bit better, though. That you would. I heard of like maybe some concentration drops or something like that, especially maybe kind of going over the middle. But you do see a lot of, you know, the passes that he catches is in the middle. Got to give the man some credit there. Got to give the man credit. 6 foot tall, 200 pounds, 4.35 unofficial, of course. Very, very impressive. But, you know, the drops, you'd like him to clean that up a little bit there. All right, but overall, I mean, yeah, geez. Yeah, just freakish. We have receptions, 89 receptions, 1,568 yards, 14 touchdowns. I mean, just silly, absolutely silly. You know, what do we got here? 2021 with LSU graded 70.1, then a 77.6, and this year he just took off 92.9. I mean, just, you know, really, really good. I mean, that's without question. I mean, that's, you know, man. So I'm sure Shane and Daboll salivating. I mean, this is not something we want to see every year. Oh yeah, we'll be drafting top 5 every year. Yeah. I mean, that's not something you want to, right? But while you're picking 6, let's get something. Let's get somebody really, really nice. And I tell you what, without question, I really think taking a number 1 wide receiver go a long way. I said unless they just wind up falling in love with one of these other quarterbacks, I really think that wide receiver 1 would be. Oh, I mean, I said if you add him with Hyatt, Wan'Dale Robinson, even Slayton, right? And you add a number 1 wide receiver. As I said, you got to give Shane some credit because, I mean, if we add that number 1 wide receiver, look what he's done over 3 years, right? Wan'Dale Robinson, we got our slot guy. Jalen Hyatt, got the guy on the outside, the guy, take the top off, right? And then if you got Adunzie or Neighbors or Harrison Jr., 3 years, added 3 really good weapons at wide receiver. So I got to give him a lot of credit there. All right, so now we got the do they or don't they? And John Mara says, no soup for you. Or in this case, sorry, fans, no grass for you. It doesn't look like but here's why, though. It's a good reason. It's a good reason. Now, quite possibly, it's ever a point in time where the Giants have their own stadium, right? Or the Jets have their own stadium, leaving the Giants with the one stadium. Then I could there'd be quite a possibility, okay, of the Giants maybe getting some grass in there. But as we're reading this article, just because it's a 2-team stadium does make it rather difficult, especially when the Northeast winters can be harsh in the Northeast. Now I know Lambeau Field, right, has grass. Soldier Field has grass. The link where the Eagles play, it's a beautiful stadium. I can't stand the Eagles, but it's a beautiful stadium, grass and all that. But the Eagles play there. It's not the Eagles and another NFL team or whatever, right? As in the Commanders, right? There's a lot of teams in the north that they have grass, but only they're only single, the NFL team stadiums, right? The MetLife has the Giants and the Jets. So almost every week, every other week, there's a game being played there. It makes it very difficult. So the Giants and the Jets will not be switching the MetLife Stadium service from artificial turf to grass in 2024, despite plans to briefly bring in temporary grass for the 2026 World Cup, not to mention a steady outcry from players and fans in recent years. Giants player and CEO John Mara relayed the decision at the NFL League meetings on March 25th, offering an explanation for interested parties. I want to get to the point where the experts can tell us that late in the season. Now, this is the thing, too, right? Because this has also quite possibly become a health problem as well. And this is going to be bad, too. Mara says, I want to get to the point where the experts can tell us that late in the season, we can have a safe, playable grass field. And when we get to that point, then maybe we'll make the switch, Mara told NYG media members in attendance. Because, you also got it where, you're figuring like at the end of the season, there were times when, I think it was 2000 to 2002, the Giants Stadium actually went back to grass, but there were times there where like guys would run and they plant their foot and just chunks of turf and grass and everything would come up, So it's almost like you're hitting a divot when you're playing golf. You're hitting a divot, you got to pick the grass up, got to put it back down, stomp it back down, and everything, and try to hope it it stays in place. And that can be a problem too, especially if a guy's trying to run, right? Trying to run and plant where there's like a big divot or something like that. That can be a problem as well too. But Mara says, we're not there yet, he continued. With the amount of events in our building, particularly during the football season, having 2 teams there and how many times last year we had back-to-back games where it rained during the first game. I can't imagine what a grass field would look like on a second day. It does not appear Giants and Jet fans will get their wish anytime soon. President and CEO John Mara refutes injury claims about MetLife turf, but there's also there's the injury claims, but there's also listening to the ball players who say, I would much rather play on grass than on turf. My knees and everything I got feel so much nicer, feel so much better playing on grass than on turf. Okay. Mr. American, he can look at the injuries and this, that, and the other thing, but he's not playing on this turf, right? The players are, right? Says the NFL Players Association, as well as many athletes, have publicly campaigned for a league-wide mandate to switch all playing surfaces to natural grass. Their belief is that artificial turf contributes to more non-contact injuries, although the exact data on turf versus natural grass is still up for debate. Mara refutes these claims on March 25th. There's virtually no difference in lower leg injuries on grass and turf, the NYG co-owner stated definitively. That's a fact. But he's not playing on there. And I've heard many, many times the players, without question, would rather play on grass than on natural turf. They said their knees and their ankle, whatever their hips, whatever, feel so much better after playing on grass than on turf. It says last year there were twice as many ACLs on grass as there were on turf, Mara went on. Now that's 1 year worth of data, but this is research that is done and statistics that are kept in conjunction with the Players Association. So there's no mystery about this. He did concede that players prefer playing on grass. Yep, there's no question about it, Mara acknowledged, voicing, I'd like to get there someday, but we're not there yet. According to a study performed by the American Journal of American Sports Medicine in 2018, synthetic turf surfaces have a causal impact on lower extremity injury. Research from the study found that there were 16% more injuries per play on artificial turf compared to grass from 2012 to 2016. However, a turf supporter might argue that the information is outdated due to newer updates to artificial surfaces. So we got here. Artificial turf is typically more cost-effective for cold weather franchises. Artificial turf is typically more cost-effective for cold weather teams like the Giants and the Jets. It's estimated a natural grass field could cost a cold weather team $2 million to $3 million per year to maintain, including $400,000 each time it's replaced, according to a professor of turf grass research at Michigan State. ESPN reported in October 2023. Turf would cost approximately $1.25 million to install and maintain, according to the Capital Improvement Board, whoever that is. The ESPN article did not note that prices can vary by market. ESPN also shared a statement from the NFL Players Association president, J.C. Tretter, at the time. It shouldn't be this hard, he commented last October. We feel the data has proven our point. We feel the player opinion is consistent. There are really only two bodies of people that are disagreeing at this point with us, people who manufacture turf and the NFL. That's it. But it's like, they'll resurface the field for soccer, but they won't do it for Giants or Jet games. To get the World Cup in. See, once again, it's all about the Benjamins, right? It's all, we get the World Cup in here. Oh, it means some money. Oh, yeah, of course we'll resurface. Sure, of course we'll put grass in there. Absolutely. But after that's we'll rip it up, right? Natural grass surface is one of the requirements of FIFA's host stadium for the 2026 World Cup. MetLife Stadium will not only house various matches throughout, but it will also be the stage of the 2026 World Cup final, which is a great honor for the Giants and Jets organization. Needless to say, the NFL does not currently have such requirements for their playing surfaces. That type of grass being installed for the World Cup is not fit for football, Mara informed. It's a completely different type of surface. They're more concerned with how the ball bounces as opposed to anything else, he noted. It'll be a temporary grass field that goes down, and that's great in June and July, no matter how many times you change it out. And we tried this back in 1999 to 2001 with the natural grass field, trays and stuff. It was not a pretty sight in December and January. Again, I think we can get there someday, Mark concluded. I am not satisfied that we are there yet. So it is what it is. I mean, I certainly without question would love to see. Ruin. Oh, screen is black, is it? Oh man, I'm sorry. I was trying to share my screen, but it wasn't. Let me see here. Well, how about all right, let me, let's see the entire screen. There we go. Maybe. No, let me see here. Nope, that ain't. Nope, I don't want that.